You might have heard whispers, quiet little rumors drifting across TikTok, Facebook groups, and late-night YouTube videos. Whispers saying that some ordinary-looking coins, the kind you walk past every day, might not be ordinary at all. Some people claim these pieces of metal have secrets, hidden values, shocking mistakes from the mint, and that a few of them have sold for life-changing money. Thousands, tens of thousands, and according to some wild stories, millions. But what's real? What's fake? And what could actually be sitting in your drawer right now? Today, we're going to peel back the curtain on 5 mysterious coins that look simple, innocent, almost boring, until you zoom in. Because behind the shine, behind the scratches, behind every curve and detail, there might be something rare. Something unexpected. Something worth far more than you ever imagined. So stay with me till the very end, because the truth about these coins, and the real numbers behind the rumors, may surprise you more than you think. Let's start with our first coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, tiny echoes spreading through collector groups, TikTok videos, late-night coin forums, and even everyday conversations, saying that one of these golden-colored presidential dollars might secretly be worth a fortune. Some say a rare piece from this series sold for thousands. Others say that a few of them even touched the $1,000,000 mark. And because these coins look so ordinary, light, golden, smooth, and familiar, you would never expect the kind of shocking surprises hiding behind them. But today, we are finally exposing the truth. And trust me, you'll want to stay with me till the very end, because the real value will surprise you in ways you don't expect. Now let's talk about the coin in your hand, the 2007 James Madison presidential dollar. When you hold it, the first thing that stands out is its elegant golden shine. Of course, it's not real gold, but the alloy of copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel gives it that rich presidential glow. The obverse features James Madison, the 4th President of the United States, often called the father of the Constitution. His portrait is crisp, with a serious, wise expression that captures the era he represents. Above him is his name, along with 4th President, and the years of his term, 1809 to 1817, beautifully arranged in a curved arc. One of the most interesting design features is actually not on the front or back, but on the edge. Unlike most coins, the presidential dollars were made with edge lettering. This includes E pluribus unum, In God We Trust, moved later, the year, and the mint mark. And here's where things get fascinating. Errors on the edge lettering are what gave birth to many of the $1,000,000 rumors. The reverse of the coin shows the Statue of Liberty in a bold, shining pose. It isn't meant to match any one president. It's a symbolic representation of freedom and the American spirit. The engraving is detailed, precise, and surprisingly artistic for a modern circulating dollar coin. Now let's get into the part everyone wants to know. People claim these are worth thousands, even millions. So let's break down the real numbers. The 2007 James Madison dollar was minted in very large quantities, tens of millions. Under normal conditions, an average circulated coin is worth $1, its face value. Even an uncirculated shiny piece is usually around $2 to $4, depending on condition. But there are special cases where the value shoots up. 1. Missing edge lettering error. This is the superstar error, the one that created most of the hype. If your coin has completely smooth edges, with no lettering, the value can rise significantly. In circulated condition, $40 to $100. In high uncirculated grade, $200 to $600. In the finest known grades, $1,000 plus in rare auction cases. 2. Partial edge lettering / weak edge lettering. If some letters are missing or too faint. Value, $20 to $100 plus. 3. Double edge lettering, struck twice. A rare but documented error. Value can be $200 to $1,000 depending on grade. 4. Proof version, from proof sets only. These are mirror-like special strikes. Value, usually $6 to $15. Perfect PR70 examples can rise to $50 to $120. 5. High-grade business strikes, MS67 and MS68. Regular coins graded extremely high can jump. MS67, $100 to $250. MS68, $500 plus, sometimes higher if population is low. So yes, There are coins in this series that have sold for hundreds to thousands. But now comes the moment of truth. The reality behind the million-dollar rumors. No James Madison presidential dollar has ever sold for millions. Not one. Not even close. The million-dollar stories usually come from misinformation, clickbait videos, or people confusing rare test strikes, wrong planchet errors, or prototype coins with regular presidential dollars. The real highest sales for this coin are typically in the hundreds, and occasionally crossing $1,000 for extremely rare errors. But is it worthless? Not at all. These coins are still beautiful pieces of history, and with the right error or the right grade, they can absolutely become a valuable collector's treasure. Let's move on our second coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, quiet murmurs drifting across social media, collector circles, and late-night YouTube videos. Whispers claiming that one of these golden Abraham Lincoln presidential dollars isn't just a coin, but a fortune hiding in plain sight. Some say a rare piece from this series shattered expectations and sold for tens of thousands. Others go even further, fueling the fire, insisting that a few of these 2010 coins were sold, or could be sold, for millions. These stories spread fast, creating excitement, confusion, and curiosity. And the question rises again and again. Could the coin in your hand be one of those? Stay with me till the very end, because the truth behind its actual value, its rarest errors, and the reality of those million-dollar claims will shock you. Let's begin with the coin itself, the Abraham Lincoln Presidential $1 coin, minted in 2010 as part of the Presidential Dollar Program. The moment you hold it, your eyes catch the warm golden color. No, it isn't gold, but a copper-zinc manganese-nickel blend that mimics the appearance beautifully. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse is one of the most striking in the entire series. His face carries a soft but powerful expression, a mix of wisdom, burden, and leadership. Sculpted with deep, clean lines, the portrait captures Lincoln's identity with remarkable detail. Around the portrait, the inscriptions read Abraham Lincoln, 16th President, and 1861 to 1865. These years immediately remind any observer of one of the most defining periods in American history: the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation, and the preservation of the Union. The lettering is sharp, modern, and perfectly balanced around the design. Now, one of the key features of all presidential dollars, including this one, is the edge lettering. This is where the magic, the surprises, and the high-value errors often come from. On the edge, you'll find E Pluribus Unum, In God We Trust, the year 2010, and the mint mark. But the machinery used to apply edge lettering sometimes failed, sometimes doubled, sometimes skipped entirely. And those mistakes changed everything. Before I reveal the actual value, the highest sale records, and the truth about million-dollar rumors, let's talk about the design on the reverse. The back of the coin features the Statue of Liberty in a bright, empowering pose. It's not tied to Lincoln specifically. Instead, it symbolizes what his leadership stood for: freedom, unity, opportunity, and resilience. The lines, folds, and textures of Liberty's image are surprisingly detailed for a modern dollar, showing just how much artistic energy went into this program. Now that you've seen the design and history, it's time to go into what you're waiting for: the value, the rare errors, the maximum potential, and the truth behind those wild million-dollar claims. Let's start with standard pricing, then climb step by step into the rarest categories. 1. Regular circulated value. A normal circulated 2010 Abraham Lincoln presidential dollar is worth $1. That's its face value. 2. Uncirculated condition. Bright, clean, uncirculated coins, sometimes found in rolls or bags, usually sell for $2 to $4 each. 3. Mint state high grades. Now, high-grade coins begin to show real value. MS-66, $10 to $25. MS-67, $40 to $120. MS-68, $200 to $500. MS-69 is extremely rare. If found, it could attract serious collector attention and sell for $1,000 plus, depending on population. 4. Proof versions, from special mint sets only. Proof coins feature mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. PR-69, $10 to $20. PR-70, $40 to $80, sometimes higher depending on demand. 5. The error coins, where the real money is. This is the place where the rumors began. This is the reason people talk about thousands of dollars. And why some stretched it into millions. A. Missing edge lettering, blank edge. This is the most famous and valuable error in the presidential series. Circulated examples: $40 to $150. Uncirculated, $200 to $600. Highest grades, $800 to $1,500, extreme cases. This alone created huge hype, enough hype for people to exaggerate it into million-dollar stories. B. Partial or weak edge lettering. If some letters are missing or faint, $20 to $100 plus. C. Double edge lettering, lettering applied twice. A rare and exciting error. $200 to $1,000, depending on condition and clarity. D. Wrong planchet errors. This is extremely rare, Lincoln dollar struck on the wrong metal. If authentic, these can reach $5,000 to $15,000 plus. These are the kinds of sales that get twisted into viral rumors. E. Off-center strikes. Depending on percentage of off-center. $100 to $500 plus. So yes, there are examples that reached into thousands. Some very rare ones reached five-figure auction prices. But now we come to the truth you've been waiting for. The reality of the million-dollar rumors. Here is the honest truth. No Abraham Lincoln presidential $1 coin has ever sold for $1 million. Not one. Not anywhere. Not in any auction, private sale, or museum listing. The stories of million-dollar Lincoln dollars came from viral social media exaggerations, misunderstandings about rare prototype strikes, confusion with early pattern coins, clickbait headlines, misreported auction numbers. The real, documented highest values are in the thousands, not millions. Still impressive, still exciting, but not life-changing. So what's the real worth of the coin in your hand? It depends. If it's normal, $1 to $4. If it's high grade, $40 to $500. If it has a rare error, hundreds to thousands. But the dream of $1 million Lincoln presidential dollar remains just a dream. Let's move on our third coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, faint rumors rising from coin groups, late-night TikTok videos, and excited collectors online. Whispers claiming that one presidential dollar from 2009 isn't just rare. It might be a hidden treasure worth thousands, tens of thousands, or according to some wild claims, even millions. People share dramatic stories of lucky collectors who found a golden dollar in a pocket, only to discover it was secretly more valuable than a luxury car or a house. The suspense around this coin keeps growing, and many viewers keep asking, is it true? Could one of these be worth life-changing money? Stay with me till the end, because today we are uncovering the truth about the 2009 William Henry Harrison presidential $1 coin, its design, its errors, its hidden market, and the real story behind those million-dollar rumors. Let's begin with the coin itself. When you hold the 2009 William Henry Harrison presidential dollar, the first impression is the warm golden shine, an alloy blend that gives it a rich, premium look even though it contains no actual gold. The portrait of William Henry Harrison, the 9th President of the United States, sits proudly at the center. His image is bold and dignified, showing the man who served the shortest presidential term in U.S. history, just 32 days. The design on the obverse features his portrait surrounded by his name, 9th President, and 1841, the year of his presidency. The strikes are clean and detailed, with sculpted textures in the hair and coat giving it depth. Even though his presidency was brief, his coin stands out as one of the most historically intriguing pieces in the entire presidential dollar series. Now, one of the signature features of these coins is the edge lettering. On the edge, you'll find inscriptions like E Pluribus Unum, In God We Trust, the year 2009, and the mint mark. The process of adding these edge inscriptions was done in a separate step from the main striking, and that's exactly where unexpected errors happened. Those errors are what fueled some of the biggest value claims and rumors. Flipping the coin over, you see the reverse, the Statue of Liberty in a strong, inspiring pose. This design was used across the entire presidential series to symbolize freedom, hope, and national identity. Even though this reverse appears on every presidential dollar, the level of detail, the torch, the flowing robe, the rays of light, makes it a visually impressive and collectible coin. Now let's get into what you're really waiting for. The value, the rare errors, the maximum possible price, and the truth behind the million-dollar hype. Regular value of the coin. Let's start simple. Circulated condition. A regular circulated William Henry Harrison dollar is usually worth $1. Uncirculated condition. Coins that were never used and kept in rolls or mint bags typically sell for $2 to $4. But things get interesting when we enter higher grades. High-grade mint state, MS, values. MS-66, $10 to $25. MS-67, $40 to $150. MS-68, $200 to $600. MS-69, extremely rare. If found, could reach $800 to $1,500 plus in auctions. Proof coins, from mint proof sets only. PR-69, $10 to $20. PR-70, $40 to $100***, sometimes a little higher depending on demand. The error coins, the real money makers. Here is where the value climbs sharply, and where the rumors truly began. 1. Missing edge lettering, blank edge error. This is the most famous presidential dollar error. If your coin has completely smooth edges. Circulated, $40 to $150. Uncirculated, $200 to $600. Top-graded examples, $1,000 plus. 2. Weak or partial edge lettering. If some letters are faint, incomplete, or missing, $20 to $100 plus. 3. Double edge lettering, applied twice. A rare and dramatic error. $200 to $1,000, depending on condition and clarity. 4. Wrong planchet errors. This is where true rarity appears. If the William Henry Harrison dollar was mistakenly struck on the wrong metal, like a quarter planchet or foreign planchet, its value can reach shocking numbers. $5,000 to $20,000 plus. These kinds of sales are often twisted into viral million-dollar coin claims. 5. Off-center strike errors. Depending on how far off-center the strike is. $100 to $500 plus. So yes, rare errors can reach thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands. But now it's time for the moment we've built toward. The truth behind the million-dollar rumors. Here is the honest, straightforward reality. No William Henry Harrison presidential $1 coin has ever sold for $1 million. Not in auctions. Not in private sales. Not anywhere. The million-dollar claims come from TikTok exaggerations, misunderstood news stories, confusion with prototype strikes, misquoted auction results, clickbait videos about coins worth millions. The truth is simple. Even the rarest Harrison presidential dollars have topped out in the low 5 figures, not 7 figures. So what's the real worth of the coin in your hand? If it's normal, $1 to $4. If high grade, $40 to $600 plus. If a rare error, hundreds to thousands. If an extreme wrong planchet error, up to $20,000 plus. But $1 million Harrison dollar? That is pure myth. Let's move to our 4th coin in today's series. You might have heard whispers, tiny rumors echoing through collector groups, late-night YouTube videos, TikTok creators, and even casual conversations among coin lovers. Whispers hinting that one of the earliest presidential dollars, the one featuring George Washington, might secretly be worth an unbelievable amount. Some say this coin has rare versions that sold for thousands. Others go further, boldly claiming that a few pieces from 2007 touched the $1 million range, shocking collectors worldwide. Today, we are finally uncovering the truth. Stay with me till the very end, because the real value, the hidden errors, the maximum possible price, and the truth behind those sensational $1 million claims will all be revealed. And trust me, this one is worth watching closely. Let's begin with the coin itself, the 2007 George Washington presidential dollar, the very first coin in the presidential dollar series. The moment you hold it, you feel the significance. This coin launched an entire 4-year program honoring U.S. presidents in order, starting with Washington, the first president of the United States. On the obverse, you see a powerful, iconic portrait of George Washington. The bust is clean, bold, and deeply detailed. His expression is firm, representing leadership, revolutionary courage, and the foundation of a new nation. Surrounding him are inscriptions, George Washington, First President, and 1789 to 1797. These elements frame the coin beautifully, giving it a strong historic personality. But what truly sets this coin apart is not the front or the back, but the edge. The presidential dollars introduced edge lettering, and this is where most of the surprises, rumors, and high-value errors come from. The edge inscriptions include E pluribus unum, In God We Trust, the year 2007, and the mint mark. Normally these are perfectly applied, but in 2007, the first year of the series, the edge lettering machines had issues. A lot of issues. And those issues created some of the most famous and valuable errors in modern U.S. coinage. Before we get into those errors, let's flip the coin over. The reverse features the Statue of Liberty. She stands tall, holding the torch high, with rays of energy captured in the design. The engraving is detailed and sharp, symbolizing the same freedom and hope that Washington fought for. The reverse is consistent across all presidential dollars, but the boldness of these early 2007 strikes gives Washington's coin a special, instantly recognizable appeal. Now that we've covered the design, let's talk about what you're waiting for. The value, the rare errors, the maximum potential, and the reality behind the million-dollar rumors. Regular value of the coin. Let's start with the basics. Circulated coins. A regular 2007 George Washington presidential dollar in circulated condition is worth $1. Uncirculated coins. Coins taken from rolls or bags, never used. $2 to $4 each. But everything changes when we enter high-grade territory. High-grade mint state. MS-66, $15 to $30. MS-67, $40 to $150. MS-68, $200 to $600. MS-69, extremely rare. A true MS-69 could sell for $1,000 plus depending on population. Proof versions. Proof coins are made only for collectors, with flawless mirror-like surfaces. PR-69, $10 to $20. PR-70, $40 to $90***, occasionally higher. These are the normal values. But the real excitement, what made this coin famous, is the errors. The error coins, where the real money hides. The George Washington dollar is home to some legendary errors. These are the coins that sparked nationwide headlines, created viral videos, and gave birth to many of the extreme value claims. Let's break them down. 1. Missing edge lettering, blank edge error. This is the most famous presidential dollar error of all time. The edge lettering was never applied. Circulated examples. $50 to $150. Uncirculated examples. $200 to $600. Highest graded examples. MS-66. MS-68, $800 to $3,000 plus. This error made history. Thousands were found in the early weeks, and the media hyped it heavily. This is where the first million-dollar claims began to spread. 2. Double edge lettering, lettered twice. The coin received lettering on the edge twice, creating a doubled effect. Value, $200 to $1,500, depending on the clarity and grade. 3. Upside-down edge lettering, inverted lettering. The edge lettering appears, but upside down compared to typical orientation. Common but collectible, $30 to $100 plus. 4. Weak or partial edge lettering. Some letters missing or faint. $20 to $120 plus. 5. Wrong planchet errors. One of the rarest possibilities. If a George Washington dollar was struck on a wrong blank, like a quarter planchet or another metal, its value can explode. Wrong planchet error, $5,000 to $25,000 plus. These are extremely rare, but they do exist, and this is the primary reason why people started throwing around rumors of millions. 6. Broad-struck, off-center, or malformed strike errors. Depending on severity. $100 to $1,000 plus. As you can see, Some of these errors are genuinely valuable, hundreds, even thousands. But now we reach the moment that everyone waits for. The truth behind the million-dollar rumors. Here is the honest, complete reality. No George Washington presidential dollar has ever sold for $1 million. Not in auctions. Not in private sales. Not in sealed bids. Not anywhere. The million-dollar claims came from overhyped early media stories, viral TikToks exaggerating values, misinterpretations of early edge lettering errors, people confusing wrong planchet coins with fantasy prices, clickbait coin videos claiming every $2007 dollar is special. The highest recorded sales for George Washington dollars with extraordinary errors reached into the thousands, not millions. So what is the real value? If you have a normal coin, $1 to $4. A high-grade MS coin, $40 to $600 plus. A rare error, hundreds to thousands. A wrong planchet strike, up to $25,000 plus. But the dream of $1 million presidential dollar? A myth. A misunderstood concept fueled by excitement.